Fradgar's government is deliberately deflecting from what was a horrific crime scene behind me, where 3 innocent children under 6 years of age and their female teacher were viciously knifed yesterday in a disgusting, unprovoked attack. The teacher and the little 6-year-old girl remain critically ill as I speak to you this evening. My thoughts and prayers are with them and their families. We must recognise and commend also the bravery of the school teacher, whom fought the assailant to the best of her ability and shielded the children with her own body. She is now fighting for her life in hospital. I would also like to highly commend the bravery and courage of Warren Donoghue, whom was the first member of the public to intervene. When his wife and children were passing, she said, "Look, he is stabbing the children." Without concern for his own safety, Warren disarmed the assailant with heavy blows. Then, when Warren forced the assailant to drop the knife, an unidentified woman kicked the knife away. I would also like to recognise the bravery of the Brazilian man, Mr. Benicio, the Deliveroo driver, who joined in and laid down with blows onto the attacker's head with his helmet. There is no doubt that without the intervention of these heroes, there can be no doubt that many more children could have been seriously injured or killed. However, today's RTE radio stations and the newspapers minimised the horrific attack on these young children and their teacher. Instead, they focused on several burnt vehicles and looted shops that can all be easily replaced. Then immediately, and without one shred of evidence, the puppet Minister for Justice, McEntee, and her incompetent former RUC, now Garda Commissioner, Harris, blamed it all on the imaginary far-right boogeymen, all as a ploy to deflect from their failures. Let's get some facts straight. Thousands of people, both Irish and foreign nationals, came out on the O'Connell Street, Dublin here, to express their mutual outrage, anger and contempt for the state's failure in their duty to protect the children of Ireland. Most of the people that showed up acted within the law. However, a few hundred of whom I believe are anarchists from the radical left seized upon this tragic situation and chose to attack the Gardaí when they were vulnerable, outnumbered and trying to protect the integrity of a crime scene. I stand with the people that came out lawfully to express their anger, and I also wholeheartedly condemn the arsonists, vandals, thugs and looters who took advantage of us at our lowest ebb when we were in shock and heartbroken by this savage attack. I believe the attacker is an Algerian man in his 50s, whom I'm told has been living in Ireland since the year 2000, permitted by the Fianna Fáil, Bertie Ahern government. Now all of this clearly calls into question the present day reckless open borders policy of Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the Green government. Furthermore, this reckless open border policy is openly and fully supported by the so-called parties of opposition, being Mary Lou's Sinn Féin, Labour and People Before Profit. There was not a shred of evidence that the disturbing scenes in Dublin of last night were politically motivated, nor was there any evidence of the so-called far-right involvement. Which raises the question, what yardstick were the mainstream media or the Garda Commissioner using to make this determination? Culture conflict is very real. Not all cultures share the same level of empathy, tolerance and respect for life as we do. This is why the majority of people of Ireland have serious concerns with reckless open borders, and we demand proper border controls are enforced as they should be. Let me say, Irish people do not have a problem with the majority of decent, hard-working migrants coming here, and we recognise their valuable contribution to our society. But letting in unchecked criminals, lunatics, rapists and murderers is the problem. The UN WEF agenda of open borders must be stopped. Minister for Justice McEntee and Garda Commissioner Harris blaming the riots on the imaginary far-right bogeyman will not solve anything. It will only make matters worse, and therefore their positions are untenable and they must resign now.